Welcome to the latest episode of Hollywood Torrent. I'm Lucas Shaw here with a special guest, Jeff Snyder. Jeff and I got back late last night from Sundance Film Festival. Today is day 7, so we're more than halfway through. We thought that we would catch everybody up on what the biggest hits of the year were. There wasn't that one breakout movie, with one exception maybe, and that was The Raid 2,
Woo!
which in Indonesia will be called Berendal. Sony Pictures Classics is going to release it in March, so it was a movie that already had a deal. But I think that was the movie that had the most support on social media and in conversation of anything at the festival.
It definitely blew the roof off the Eccles in Park City on Tuesday night. So much so that a gentleman passed out in the middle of the movie. Who knows why? But so yeah, they had to turn the lights on and stop the movie for a second. But it didn't kill the momentum one bit. And then at the end, when Iko Uwais treated us to a little martial arts demonstration, I thought that was one of those are the sort of moments at Sundance that you live for.
And if you haven't seen that, we do have a post up on TheWrap with the star of The Raid 2. He also starred in The Raid 1 and in the first movie by director Gareth Evans. And it's him just putting on a little demonstration because someone in the audience asked him how fast he was.
Yeah.
Now, beyond The Raid, what were some of your favorite movies, and what do you think will have, that audiences will actually want to go and see in the theaters? Well,
I loved the Skeleton Twins and Laggies. Both of which got picked up, Skeleton Twins by Lionsgate Roadside and Laggies by A24. Let's start with Laggies. I mean, I just thought, did you get a chance to see it?
I didn't get to see it.
I just thought, I'm not a huge Keira Knightley fan, but she was wonderful in this movie, and her chemistry with Sam Rockwell was fantastic. Basically, Keira Knightley ends up buying beer for some teenagers one night, some underage teenagers, and then starts hanging out with them, and then falls for one of their dads. It was just really sweet and well written by Andrea Siegel. And then Skeleton
Twins was also one of my favorites. I finally caught up with it yesterday. It stars Bill Hader and Kristen Wiig. They're siblings. One, it's a dramatic role for Bill Hader, which Jeff wrote about. A little turn from him. He is phenomenal in it. He also plays kind of like this gay, depressed, suicidal character very well. And then Luke Wilson has a great supporting role as Kristen Wiig's husband. It's a movie where you laugh a lot of the time, even though it begins with both Bill Hader and Kristen Wiig contemplating suicide, right. One of them unsuccessfully attempting to do so. And beyond that, I think what I hope gets more attention this year are the documentaries. Sundance always has a really great group of docs. This year was no exception. There was one about Proposition 8. There was one about Mitt Romney. There was a biopic documentary about Roger Ebert that was exceptional. One about the Joe Paterno sexual abuse scandal at Penn State. And my personal favorite was the one about Aaron Swartz, who's one of the founders of Reddit, who became a political activist and committed suicide shortly before a trial that probably would have put him in prison for years. Someone recommended, that's one of those cases where someone recommended it to me in line. I went and saw it the next day, and it was my favorite doc at the festival. I
really wish I had made more time for documentaries. Unfortunately, I didn't see a single one this year. Instead, I saw 5 of the 8 movies in the Park City at Midnight section, and they ended up being 2 of my favorite movies of the festival. The Guest from Adam Wingard and Simon Baird, who did Your Next. I had never seen Downton Abbey, so I wasn't familiar with Dan Stevens' work. He plays like a sort of imagine the Terminator meets Michael Myers, if you will, and that was one of my absolute favorites. It's a great midnight movie, and it still doesn't have distribution, even though there are a bunch of offers on it. And then the Asian serial killer movie Killers, I thought was really, really good. I could see that getting packaged as like a sort of English language remake with a couple of stars.
So now that we've gone through all the movies, in 2 words, who was your breakout star of the festival?
That's a tough one, and it's not fair. Honestly, it was Jude Swanberg, a 2-year-old kid in Happy Christmas. He stole that whole movie and made that an enjoyable experience. If we're talking about actual actors and not 2-year-old kids, I guess it was Bill Hader. The kid in Hellion, Josh Wiggins, was also very good. It's unfair to pick a breakout. I mean, Miles Teller was so good in Whiplash, J.K. Simmons. I had a lot. Arifin Putra in The Raid 2 also impressed me, and he strikes me as a guy who could cross over into American movies. What about you?
I would say John Boyega in Imperial Dreams, and with that, I think that'll finish our wrap-up of Sundance. We'll probably shoot a few more videos later in the week. Thank you for watching the latest episode of Hollywood Torrent. It's Jeff Snyder. I'm Lucas Shaw. You can follow him on Twitter at TheInSnyder. You can follow me on Twitter at Lucas_Shaw.